Josh, great to see you, my friend. Happy December.
Yeah, same to you, man. It's a great opportunity to be with you today.
Man, I appreciate it. Appreciate you being on board. I am with Josh Crisp, who is founder and CEO of Solinity. We talked about that being kind of Latin for sun and unity, so that's an awesome name. And I'm looking forward to getting into that. But we're going to start with 2020. Different year than maybe we've ever experienced as business leaders. I've asked quite a few folks and would like to ask you, how have you managed through 2020? What are some of the pivots that you have had to experience and lessons you're going to take in the future? What are a couple of those?
Well, I mean, obviously that's a big question, right? And I, like everybody, nobody could really forecast what 2020 has become. But I'll tell you, thankfully, some lessons I learned early as, learning from some great mentors. They had always taught me that in business to be somewhat diversified, right? And so I'm in the aging services, the senior housing, the senior living business, however you want to classify that. That's what I've been for my entire adult career. And we have, at our core, we're developers, owners, operators. And so there's a few companies related to building communities and senior housing, operating those communities, and also marketing those communities. And we've built some ancillaries that kind of feed to that. And, if you would have asked me, even in January of this year, 2020, what this year looked like, it would have been our largest development kickoff construction year in my history. And I would have said, we will never look back, because that will set us on a pathway to where we don't struggle for cash flow anymore. And we were really gearing up for that. And, at the end of February, when that all started unraveling, by April, my development had come to, on multiple developments, had come to almost a halt. And a very uncertainty as that would even become, if it would become, was it going away forever? And it's really interesting, because at that moment of realization, when you realize everything you were planning for is kind of crumbling before your very eyes, you kind of have a sinking in your gut. But I'll tell you, it was really interesting. Our marketing company, that was not intentionally, I would say, it sounds funny, but we weren't really intentionally seeking out new clients, new work. We were really just taking care of our own. At the same time, the development train kind of came to a screeching halt. The marketing platform, built largely on an internet marketing platform, just rocketed overnight. And some things that taught me, there's a lot of things there, but in the senior housing space, that diversity, if we wouldn't have had that, we would have been in some cash flow struggles for sure. The diversity was the key. It was not out of our wheelhouse, because it's still serving the aging population. But the team, the agileness of the core corporate team, to quickly pivot and turn their attention to the unlikely breadwinner of the bunch, and monetize on that, it was really something that I'll take with me as a lesson moving forward into 2020. Is keep your team agile, to keep systems and processes able to quickly change with economic issues, things that are beyond your control oftentimes. So, that would probably be my first response to that, John.
That's great. I appreciate you sharing that. And so many entrepreneurs, I think, can absolutely are in the same boat and identify with what you just said. As you're looking at Q4, right, as we're wrapping things up, I mean, we're entering December now. What does that look like, right? Because I think, there's these curves in this year, maybe more tumultuous than we've ever I've ever experienced as a business owner. I've been a business owner for a long time. But what are you seeing Q4, and how are you looking at that?
Well, it's been this year's been a realignment of expectations, right? So it's sometimes you can set unrealistic expectations for yourself, which sets you up automatically for failure. So I would say we've had several of those points as we've kind of month by month learned more about maybe what's ahead. So you're always kind of forecasting, but we made a goal at about midsummer, a conscious effort to dealing with specifically numbers to look at, could we possibly achieve 75% of our projected cash flow budget for the year as a company, as a family of companies. And that to some may sound like a failure to only hit 75% of your budget, but after the year that we've had and how much things got turned upside down for us, that would be a great year, right? And so to still set a goal, because it had to be something to where we're not going to coast to. We're always hustling in our business, no matter. So for us to hustle and set up, but something that is attainable for us, it's a 75% of our annual projected budget. And I think we'll hit that. The team's focused on that. I mean, we're closing in here the last month, and the clock's ticking, and I think we're going to hit that. So realigning the expectations was something we had to do. And it's still a goal for us.
Huge congratulations for that. I mean, because again, with everything that's going on. So you talk about goals. Let's look at 2021, right? How are you and the team planning for 2021 maybe differently than you ever have?
Well, our industry is probably not different than a lot of industries in that, post-COVID, so to speak, or in the era of COVID, we're not out of it. And so it's still a rapidly changing situation. We are really focused on building around being agile to changing conditions. In our industry, we know that humans are going to continue to age. Humans are going to continue to need housing and healthcare. And we don't want to put ourselves into such of a definition of this is who we are that we lose the ability to adapt to what we can become. And so as we evaluate our systems, we're really looking at what can we do to be more available to our clients, to be more adaptable to our clients, and how do we plan and budget for uncertainty. Probably like a lot of entrepreneurs, you run things really slim, really close, really tight. And there's something about that probably only an entrepreneur understands the thrill of that sometimes.
Right.
But how do we do that responsibly with measure? And so that's probably, if that's not too vague, that's how we're kind of approaching going into next year. And we're looking at not putting too much value marginally on any one of our unit sectors' cash flow, and looking at it from a more balanced approach. And how do we look and see what unique value each one of our divisions has to bring to potential clients and to our industry.
Fantastic. Well, listen, man, I wish you the best of luck. I appreciate you spending a couple of minutes with me on this platform. Happy holidays.
Man, same to you. God bless you through the holiday season, and thanks for spending some time chatting with me today.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Hey, man.